Hey, good morning. Just leaving CrossFit here. The typical back out of this sketchy spot kind of thing. I definitely went a little too hard this morning. Couldn't. I finished the warm up, which is like a 20-minute. It's called an EMOM, every minute on the minute. So it's like rowing. Then a dumbbell snatch where it's kind of like a floor to overhead movement, and then lunges. And it's like not complicated. I don't think there's anything particularly like challenging kind of built into it, but I just underestimated my ability to recover, because when you're going every minute on the minute, you only have so much time to try and complete the movement, right? So the actual workout was supposed to be the exact same thing, but double the amount of repetitions per minute. And when I finished the 21-minute warm up, I was like I can't breathe anymore. Like I looked at my wife and I said I have to go home. So no, it was good. She's like, you should stay. So kind of peer pressured me into staying, and I just stuck on the rower and very slowly got an extra like 40 or 50 calories kind of thing. So brutal though. Good start to the day, I guess. I do feel much better today in terms of my cold. I am pretty sure it's still lingering a bit. Like I feel it a little bit in my chest, especially when I'm this winded. But kind of expect that, because I'm going to be heading into the office today, which would be nice to get back in. And things I want to talk about this morning are the YouTube video that I recorded and put out for today is about, there's a lot of people that are trying to get into software development, of course, and it's pretty competitive right now, especially for juniors, like people that are breaking into the industry. It's very competitive. Even people that are saying like they've been in industry for a while and they're switching roles, switching companies, they're noticing that it's quite difficult. Then when you layer on like, oh, there's this fear of AI taking all the software engineering jobs, understandable that there's a lot of competition, a lot of fear. So totally get it. But the video that I put out, I wanted to talk about it's not really too late ever, and I believe it. By the way, it's not like a clickbait title kind of thing. Like, I mean, actually, I think I used a bit of a clickbait title, but the clickbait, the title's not meant to be misleading, or the topic is not misleading. I genuinely believe that, if you're getting a later start than the sort of the average person that goes into software development, it's not too late for you. And in fact, I tried to call out a lot of examples in the video where that kind of prove that, right? Where people were later than, the college grad kind of thing, or the boot camp student or like self-taught kind of like, or before you're 20 or like, early 20s kind of getting into software. It's totally doable. It's challenging. Like I'm not trying to mislead people and say, oh, it's so simple. It's not simple for anyone. That's misleading. Like I got a job out of university, but I had 6 internships. So like that obviously helped me, because by the time I graduated, I had 2 full years of work experience. So that made it significantly, easier for me, but I still had to go do the work. So I don't think that it's easy for anyone, but folks that are, switching careers or getting started a little bit later, I don't want to like be dismissive about like people's experiences. Like if you are older and having challenges getting into the industry, I'm not trying to say like you invented it in your head. Like that's not my point. But my point is that it's possible. My point is that if you stick to it, you will be able to. So it's kind of like, you've only not succeeded if you stop trying. And it's competitive for everyone. And yeah, I wanted to make that video to kind of help demonstrate to people that it's definitely doable. So what was cool about that was that I had posted some stuff on social media prior to give me a little bit more evidence and material that I could use in the video. So it was nice to have folks from LinkedIn and Twitter be able to kind of chime in with, you know, their experiences, saying like, hey, look, like I got started at this age, like that's when I was looking to do it. And especially on Twitter, there's a couple people that I admire. Not that I don't admire the people on LinkedIn, but there's a couple in particular from Twitter that are kind of stand out for me, and I think they've kind of made like a pretty good impression like on social media, and I'm sure they're like their personal brand for people they're working with and stuff like would believe it too. But there's Dan, who's Code Wrinkles on YouTube, and Karen Payne. I don't think Karen has social media outside of Twitter, maybe LinkedIn or something, I'm not sure, but she's active on Twitter. But both these individuals, like, I think Karen said that she got her first software engineering job when she was 35. And she's been a Microsoft MVP for 11 years. Like, it's definitely doable. Dan said he got started when he was 29. Sorry, I'm dying here. And like, he's been a very successful software engineer. He does public speaking and stuff. He has his YouTube channel. Like, he makes it very evident that like that he knows what he's talking about, that he's been around to be able to talk about these things. And he got started like right when he was just about 30, right? So it all stemmed from a Reddit question that was like, hey, I'm 30, like, is it too late? And I genuinely don't think so. So anyway, I'm hopeful that if it helps one person and they're a little bit older, then like I said, like maybe the stereotypical software engineer coming out of college kind of thing, if it helps one person, then I'm happy. Like, there's nothing in it for me. I'm not like trying to promote something that somehow benefits me in like a sneaky way. Like, yes, there's a course advertisement in my video, but there's a course advertisement in every video. So I'm not like trying to promote some weird like thing that is related to being older in software engineering. I don't like gatekeeping, and I think that there's enough gatekeeping going on, and there's enough like self-doubt in software engineers, or like aspiring software engineers, where like there's so many barriers that it's like you don't need to create your own to like hold yourself back. So let's not do that. That's kind of the goal of the video. So I'm hoping that it resonates with a few people, but we'll see. I find sometimes these types of videos on my channel don't do well because they're not C# and .NET related, but that's okay. Like I said, if it helps one person, then I feel good. And interestingly enough, my Google interview one, where I explained that I failed my Google interview, that's one of my best performing videos lately, and that has nothing to do with C# and .NET. But I think, which I hate to admit, but I know this kind of thing's true, thumbnails make a ridiculously big difference. Thumbnails and titles, right? You can make the best video in the world, and if no one clicks it to watch it, no one will ever see it, and then it never spreads. So it actually doesn't matter how good the video is to get people to click it, right? I don't like, if you're not a YouTube video creator, then you might not realize this, but I'm not saying the video is going to be good if you purposefully make it bad, but if your thumbnail and title aren't there, then no one comes across it in their feed and goes, I want to watch that. So those two things are incredibly important. I feel like I happened to get lucky with the Google interview one. I've had, right when it launched, like today's video, the Too Old to Code video, I had one person say like, hey, like, awesome job on this thumbnail and the Google interview one. So maybe this one will stand out. But I don't know. Like I said, goal is to help at least one person not hold themselves back from trying to be a software developer. And I have my fingers crossed that happens. So The only other thing I wanted to mention about that is I mentioned Dan from Code Wrinkles, and I mentioned this, I think, in the video directly, but I'll say it again here. Like, Dan, I think Dan's channel is 28,000 subscribers, so just under 30, I think, at the time I'm making this. And if I'm not mistaken, a little bit earlier than this time last year, like maybe it was in the summer, I think Dan's channel was like 7,000. I could be wrong. Maybe it was more. So his channel's grown quite a bit in the year, which is amazing. He's a great creator. But what I wanted to mention was that and I might have the subscriber count wrong, but the point is, around a little bit earlier than this time last year, Dan made a video on YouTube about some up-and-coming creators that were under like 1,000 subscribers, and he mentioned my channel, and it was super cool. You know, I hadn't talked with Dan before that point, so it's not like I was like, hey man, like, please promote my channel. Like, he just did it, and I thought that was super cool that he had come across my channel, had seen some content, and was like, I want to mention this person. So that meant a lot to me. Dan's always been super awesome to talk with on social media. I think he's a great guy, from at least I've never met him in person, but from what I know about him from our social media interactions, I really enjoy engaging with him. So yeah, if you get a chance, go check out Code Wrinkles on YouTube, and he's on Twitter and LinkedIn and stuff as well, so great guy. But yeah, at the time, I think I had around 300 subscribers, and I remember, I don't know what I was thinking when it happened, but basically my subscriber count like doubled. Like, I got like 300 subscribers or something ridiculous, like overnight, or in the next like 48 hours. So it was super cool. I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be famous, but yeah, just a really nice gesture. Okay, hopefully no more coughs. But yeah, that was today's video. I am going home now, and I have to do an interview for my podcast at 7:45. It's 10 after 7 right now, so the problem is that I'm exhausted and I need to go to the office, and what I've been doing is I've been able to try and get a nap in, because CrossFit's I wake up at 5 in the morning so I can go to CrossFit for 6, and I'm absolutely exhausted right now. So I've usually been napping, and I'm not going to be able to do that today. So we'll see. I might, if I can wrap up the interview on time, I might try to squeeze in like a 20-minute power nap and then head into the office. But like, I already feel in my, like, the front of my head, I'm like not doing so well. So we'll see. But yeah, it's good. I got to get more interviews scheduled. This one, I think, is there's a couple of people I've talked to that I'm due for an interview, but we haven't got them scheduled, so we'll get that sorted out. Because I like to have a bit of I think I mentioned this before, I like to have a bit of a pipeline. I have one more podcast that's kind of primed and ready to go. And then I have this one that's to be recorded, but I got to get more back in the calendar. It's kind of nice to not have them, because then I get more time back, but that's the name of the game, right? I got to be on top of the content. I also have to pay attention and get over a couple lanes, because I need to exit like right here. Whoops. Come on, Nick. Wake up. We're good. We did it. No worries. But yeah, just to show, like, I'm a little bit tired. But what I might do, because I might have like 20 minutes before this podcast, I might just like lie down in bed. I don't think I'll sleep, but see, it's working. I'm convincing myself. Sometimes it's nice to just like, I've noticed this when I go to nap and stuff. Sometimes if I don't even fall asleep, if I go to have like a 20-minute power nap, I might have my eyes closed for like you know, somewhere between 8 and 13 minutes. I know it seems oddly specific, but I've done this enough to know. Somewhere between 8 and 13 minutes I'll wake up, or like just kind of be in bed, and I don't think that I've actually slept yet. And I'm like, you know what, like, I actually feel okay. Like, sometimes I just need to like turn my mind off a little bit, and if I go lie down in bed without sleeping, it still seems to work. So I might do that. Oh, my body's very sore. I can't even reach over for this. But I might need that. I got to get some water in me too. I can feel as I'm talking here, I need to get more water. Like, it's very obvious in my face. And I don't think there's anything too crazy going on at work. I mentioned before, I have an overnight on-call shift coming up on Friday and Saturday, and I'm not like happy about it, I guess. I don't think anyone would be happy about like an overnight on-call shift, but I think I said this in one of yesterday's vlogs, or maybe before, but I am happy that for the people that I'm going to be working with, like, I know I'm going to be very supported, and kind of gets me a little bit motivated. Like, I want to be able to support when I'm the backup on call. I want to do a good job because I know the other people will for me. So that's the only thing I'd say. Like, if we get paged right at the beginning of the shift and then we're fighting fires the whole time, I at least know I'm going to be working with someone that I like to work with. She's talented, just a woman on my team. Very smart. She knows her way around like our service and stuff like that. So I feel, like I said, I feel supported. And if that's how we have to have our whole shift, I'm not stoked about it, because I don't want to stay up from 6 till 6. But you know, if we got to do it, then I'm in good company. So that'll be cool. But we'll see. I think we're planning on Friday before 6. So Friday we're still working, right? It's like the work day into this overnight on call. I think both of us were saying, like, right before the end of the work day, we'll probably cut out from work a little bit early. And then, not that I'm like monitoring people when they're working, but she explicitly said to me, like, she'll be doing this, and I think it's a good idea. I'll probably do the same, but cut out a little bit early and just try to get like a nap in or something, so that you have a little bit more energy, hopefully, for if we need to go overnight. Ideally we keep our phones on, we have the ringers there, and we don't get paged, and then that's it. Then we can sleep in a little bit on Saturday, that kind of thing. It'd be good. And the same thing, like, if we can have that over Saturday night, you know, keep our ringers on if no one's messaging us or paging us. Cool. Like, you know, the problem with my phone is that I can't just configure, like, I don't know, like my Outlook email. I get a lot of email, and I can't put a ringer specifically for like an email filter from what I've seen on my phone. So if I could, then I could say, okay, if you get like a certain type of email, like if someone's tagging you directly, they're saying like, hey, on calls, like, can you look at this, then use a different ringer, otherwise silent, like, leave me alone. That would be nice. Unfortunately, what it probably means is that I'll be sleeping in the spare room with my phone ringer on, and be waking up like all throughout the night to any email that's coming in, or any I don't get like a lot of messages, at least not directly. Like, if I'm getting a direct message and it's not from someone on my team, it's like only when I'm on call, basically. Otherwise, everyone uses email where I am. So Teams will be pretty quiet unless someone really needs help, and email's the noisy thing. So I'll probably just be up like all throughout the night. Oh, you want to come in here? Okay, that's a good plan. These guys driving. What was I going to say about that? That's something else I wanted to add into there. related to on-call, but okay, no big deal. Not that important if I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know when my next shift after that should be a while out. We had new employees that joined our team earlier in the year, and now that they've been around for long enough, they'll be put into the on-call rotation. So that actually might move my next on-call out even further, because I had a couple back-to-back, like, to explain, I had can't remember exactly the dates, but I had my on-call shift, and then like a couple weeks went by and someone asked to swap me, because the one I was supposed to have is at the end of this month, but that's when I go to Hawaii. So it was good to swap that, but it meant I had 2 back-to-back, now this weekend one. So I don't think I should have on-call for a little bit, which will be nice. But we'll see. We will see. And then, so I'll be at the office today, and then in the evening I got to get through a few YouTube videos. I want to make sure I can get 2 done. I'm late on them. Like, it needs to be, it's tomorrow's and Friday's YouTube videos, so it's not really fair for my editor to give him a video and then like be like, hey man, like do this before I wake up in the morning, because he's 3 hours behind me too. Now he's got kids. Sometimes he'll edit stuff like overnight. I don't expect it, but that's why I said it's not really fair. If he's able to do it, it's great, but it might be that I don't get one of my videos out this week that I wanted to. That's kind of my fault. Or he'll get it done and it'll be like, instead of me posting it for 5 a.m., it'll just be later in the day. So we'll see, but that's my goal. Because I want to stay on the 3 YouTube videos a week kind of thing. I told myself, and I believe I've said this on, I don't know if I said it on this channel, but in general I've said it in a recorded video or live, like the making 3 YouTube videos a week is, for me, is like not sustainable. I fully acknowledge that that's not sustainable, and to give you a brief idea, like my goal was to do 3 YouTube videos a week, okay? So that's been the thing I've been trying to sustain for 22 months. This is the 22nd month now of trying to make 3 YouTube videos a week. But it's not quite like that anymore, because it's 3 YouTube videos a week, plus at least 1 live stream, plus a podcast. Okay, so now if each YouTube video is 20 minutes of content, let's say, the live stream's at least an hour. That's double the amount of video, okay? Sorry, someone was taking their sweet time to come through the intersection, so if I didn't go, it's going to be there for like a day. So adding in the podcast literally doubles the amount of video content I put out in a week, just by volume. Then the live stream is at least doubling the original volume as well. So it goes from around an hour of video content a week to 3. Sometimes I do 2 live streams, and sometimes the live streams are closer to 2 hours versus 1. So I've added a ridiculous amount of video content per week. Now, no, not this one. Sorry, couldn't see where I was turning. Now I'm doing these, which is cool, but I don't edit these, and it's not taking up extra time for me, right? So that's the nice thing about these, is like I can just crank these out and just talk to you folks, and this is just extra. It's a little cherry on top. But my core YouTube content, I can't 3 videos plus a podcast, like it's not sustainable. I'll need to drop it down, and probably soon, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna go and try to power nap. Thanks for checking it out. I'll see you soon.